Good afternoon, everybody. Hey, Tom Stewart here. I'm with Liz Trotter. This is Smart Business Moves. We got a very special guest today, a friend of ours. We go way back, Amy Wiggs-King. Hey, Amy, how are you?
I'm great. How are you guys?
We're awesome. We are awesome.
We are good. Good. It's a good day, hump day. Makes it easier, getting through the week, right?
Yes.
What are we going to be talking about today, Amy?
We are going to be talking about trying to weed out the riff-raff, meaning kind of talking about our hiring process and what we've kind of done over the years to try to, not waste time on certain areas of the hiring process. So I think it will be good. So
That's an important thing for a whole lot of reasons. So we're going to do a deep dive into that. This is going to be useful. I'm looking forward to this.
Good.
There's nobody who doesn't need this information. If you think you don't need this information, chances are good you need it more.
Yes.
So calm down.
Exactly.
If you don't think that you need it, hang around. You'll change your mind before we're through.
Yeah, exactly. What are we doing tomorrow, Tom?
I don't know. I do know, actually. 2021 is just around the corner. I'm sure that we're all going to be sad to say goodbye to 2020, but it's happening. So we need to get ready for next year. And this is a good opportunity for us to be talking about what KPIs we want to be tracking and how we're going to be using them in our business. And this is something we're going to be working on over the course of the next month. And this is kind of a start, and it's going to be good. And I'm looking forward to that as well. Hey, Marlo, how are you?
I told her she had to join today. I was like,
it's nice to have buddies.
It is. She's my girlfriend.
I'm going to try and silence my phone and pull everybody up.
Okay.
I'm so terrible about doing this. I almost always do it with the sound on. And then I do this.
It's all good.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
All right. So it takes a while usually for people to get on here.
Sure.
Hey, Tom, I guess for the next couple of weeks, I'm looking at having people that are going to share a lot about annual planning, goal setting, just getting ready for 2021 in a lot of different ways. So if anybody wants certain information, anybody's looking for anything that they know they need, like what are they going to be doing in 2021, let us know, and we'll try our best to get you that. Right.
It's a really good idea. Now's the time. Hit us up with ideas and things you would like to work on in preparation for getting ready to next year, and we can do our best to fit it in.
Well, let me see if I can. Hey, Leslie. Oh, there we go. Clean Business Today. Live. There we go. All right. Now I'm good. Now I can comment. So, Amy, I'm super excited to hear about getting rid of the riff-raff. I do have this other thing that's going on right now. I'm hoping you're going to address too, is that like we always want to get rid of the riff-raff, but what do we do like right now? Well, we're just struggling to even get people in the door. Are you going to be talking about that too?
A little bit, yeah. We're still on the struggle bus too, I'm not an expert by any means in hiring, but I feel like, when you'd ask me kind of what topic I wanted to talk about, I do feel like over the years that we have definitely come a long way from what we used to do as far as my time management, my office staff's time management, just kind of, automatically, like I said, weeding out a lot of the kind of low-hanging fruit on applicants that you do get in and not wasting your time. So, I'll touch on that a little bit too.
Well, one thing I know that you are good at, I've seen over the years that you've always been good at setting up systems. So that's such a key piece in hiring that I think people maybe underestimate. So,
yeah. For sure.
Hey, Nate, good to see you. Yep, it is. It's hump day. Everybody loves Wednesday, right? It's like, although I'm probably not the only one a little stressed out about it just getting closer and closer to Christmas. I'm like, what the heck? Mm-hmm. It's like every day it gets closer.
I think I decorated November 11th, to be honest. I was like, I don't care. I'm just doing it.
They do. There are a lot of people this year that are like, I need me a partner.
I need some happy. I know.
I
Right?
need something. Yeah.
And this makes me happy. I mean,
Yeah. Well, you weren't the only one. Yeah, I do love your hat. Kind of blends with your stockings in the background.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. On the green. All right. So go ahead. Get us started, Amy.
All right.
What do you need to know? Wait, let me get my paper.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to start out by saying, I've attended a ton of ARCSI events and cleaning conferences and CBB stuff, Castle Keepers, all of that I've been to, and I've gleaned a lot of information over the years. But what really kind of pivoted everything was good old Mel Kleiman. Even signature here. Look at that.
Mel does that.
In person, man. He's a legend. I love that man.
Me too.
And so, I'm not a big book reader, I'll be honest. I do pick up some here and there, but my attention span's like a gnat. I just don't have the concentration to focus to read books, to be honest. I can do audiobooks, but this book right here, Higher Tough, was, like I said, a pivotal moment a few years ago. Along with that is the 267 Higher Tough questions, which I have used questions from this book that I felt really help to weed out some of the riff-raff, to really kind of deep dive and kind of get thought-provoking questions, not just, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, that kind of thing. It's, it's a very specific question to kind of pull out, some characteristics that you may or you may not want in this person that you're going to hire.
Can you give us some examples of some of your favorite questions, or are you going to talk about that later?
I don't want to on my list here. That's a little bit further down, but yes, I do have that.
No, I'll just follow along with you, Amy.
I got you. Okay. So for us, we're in Norman, Oklahoma, just in case nobody knows where we're at. We're in Norman, Oklahoma. We're a college town. And the way we start our hiring process is that we have a job ad, obviously, on Indeed. We have it on Facebook, and we still do Craigslist. My ops manager that I have right now, and I've had for 4 years, she's amazing. Sorry, my kid. I told him not to get okay, I'm talking. Oh, kids.
Oh my gosh. I only saw this much of him, and he looks so much older.
I know, right? And he has a Santa hat on too today, so
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Sorry, guys. And we still do Craigslist. Like I said, my ops manager came from Craigslist, and she's rocking it. So we advertise on those three. Our job ad is really, kind of fun. Obviously trying to glamorize cleaning toilets is, a difficult job. So our job ad is fun. We talk about, hey, are you the type of person that likes, to have carpet line competitions, and do you look at a mirror after cleaning it and give it finger guns and that kind of stuff. And so on our Facebook auto response to when somebody applies for a job, I have one of my employees with a picture of her with some sunglasses, of course, her mask on, doing the finger gun, hey, so we kind of try to create a fun, welcoming, warm atmosphere in our job ads. And we've gotten really good feedback from those. So Indeed really has been the most,
wait, I have to interrupt here real quick. So I love that strategy for you and your company, because you are a fun person. You do like to bring the fun. You bring the fun into your company. And so one thing I just want to point out to people is have your ad be consistent with your culture. So if you have that really fun ad, like Amy does, and then they get to your office and you're like, hi, take a seat over there, please, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
They're not even going to finish the process. They're going to walk out halfway through and you're not going to know why.
Absolutely.
So if you are a fun person, though, I think this is, there's Dawn. Oh, we got people coming to see Amy. Diane's in there too. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
So that is a really big deal. I love that you take your culture that you actually have always been creating and you put it into the ad and you start people there. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, because we want those same type of people. We don't want the Debbie Downers, and things like that. So we try to recruit the fun as well. So
it's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so on Indeed, it's our biggest platform now that we've been using for hiring. I like it personally because you put your job ad on there. They have assessments. They actually have one called a cleaner fit. That will ask specific questions to see if they would be a good cleaner. And it will rank the person from like taking the test, which means they're probably not that great, to proficient, and then highly proficient. And obviously, my eye goes down to the highly proficient ones when we start getting those assessments in. We're still going to interview the other ones as well. But, if I'm down to 2 candidates and I've got a highly proficient cleaner and I've got just like one that took the test, I'm going to go with the highly proficient, right?
Yeah.
So, and then also in our job ad, we make sure, like, we give them tests, because if you have, like I said, weeding out the riff-raff, if you've got somebody that's just wanting a job, just needing a job because they don't have anything else to do, they're probably just going to apply and not even think about it. You want the person that's going to research your company, know about your company, want to work for that company. So they're going to work hard. It's like an application. They're having to answer these 2 assessments. And then we also have them call our job hotline and tell us, why do you want to work for us? We want to hear their voice. We want to hear in their, like, demeanor of like, why, if they call and say, yeah, I'm calling because I need a job. And, like, who wants that? We want somebody to say, hey, I saw your ad, and oh my gosh, you guys look so fun. And, I've got this much experience, and blah, 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 call me back. We want to hear that in somebody's voice. And so having them fill out the 2 assessments, looking at their application and having that job hotline kind of gives us, a good picture of what that person is, about and applying for.
So tell us a little bit more about your job hotline. Is that something through Indeed, or is that something you've set up separately?
Yeah, it's just literally a Google number. It's a Google Voice number, and that way it's separate from our main line, because we don't want to answer the phone and be like, we want them to know that it's going to a voicemail. And that way they can really focus on their answer, be clear, concise, and really not feel pressured to talk to somebody, immediately. So it's just a Google Voice number. You just set it up. They're free. And just include that in your job ad. And in the job ad, we say, if you do not fill out the 2 assessments, call the hotline, your application will not be considered. So we make it really clear.
And that is a really good point, because a lot of times people read through these ads and they're like, yeah. Right. They don't really need that. They don't really need that. And there are a lot of things that they don't need a lot of times when they're applying for different companies. So I think it's really important that you do say, hey, we're not even going to look at you if you don't do these things.
Right.
So when the applicant calls the job hotline, what happens? What do they do?
We have on the ad, we just say, answer one question of, why do you want to work for 2 Green Chicks? That's it. Yeah, we just make it real simple. We don't want to put a lot of pressure, but still we want to hear, like, why do you want to work for us? Do you just want to work for us because you need a job, or do you want to work for us because you think we're a good company and you think you would be a good fit and you could add value, and all that stuff.
And don't forget to give us your name.
Exactly. Yes. They leave their name and their phone number. And usually we can match it up pretty good with, the applicants that we have coming in. So, yeah. And if they don't,
Chris.
Looky here. Look who's in the house.
Ooh, somebody came to see Amy.
BFFs. I love y'all.
Somebody came to see Amy.
All right,
so
gone for y'all today, so feeling kind of fancy.
So you're not looking for responses that are like, yeah, my name's Liz Trotter, and I really need a job, so hire me.
We've literally had those. Yeah, we've had those, and it's like,
I bet.
I bet on that one. I'll send you the email saying, thank you so much for applying, but we went with another candidate. You don't want to be rude, so. Of course. Yeah.
But do you normally get, what would you say? Like, say you get 10 responses. How many of them are good? How many of them are more like, no? Yeah.
Honestly, about, a little more than half, 6 or 7. Nice. We get decent responses. We really do. Nice. I've got some ladies before saying, I've had this much experience, I enjoy cleaning. That's what you want to hear, is people that actually enjoy cleaning. Right. And so, I would say a little more than half we get that are good. Nice. Yeah.
Very nice. I love that. Okay.
Yeah. So in addition to all of that, then we start going through all of the applicants. We have here in Oklahoma, and I don't know if you guys do in other states, but there's this wonderful tool called OSCN.net, Oklahoma State Court Network. you can go online and see felonies, misdemeanors, protective orders, traffic tickets, like all kinds of like preliminary, stuff. And to me, that helps to weed out a lot, I mean, obviously, if you get, a Jane Smith, you're going to have 15 James Smiths that have probably felonies, so you'll obviously give those people the benefit of the doubt and not just, nix their applicant, right then. Right.
OSC.org?
OSCN, Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State, no, OSC, I'm sorry, Oklahoma City. Now you got more confused.
Oklahoma State Court
Network. Thank you. OSCN.net. It's a bookmark on my computer, so I don't. You can probably pull it up and look.
I'm going to look you up, Amy, while we're doing this.
I don't care.
I don't care. Are you doing it right now?
Go look at that felony. No, I'm kidding. That drug ring I had going on years ago. Kidding.
So what you're really saying here, Amy, is yes, of course, we're going to do background checks. Yes. But this is another way to weed out the number of people that you're going to be doing background checks on and just get rid of them sooner, right?
Absolutely.
So waste so much less of your time by getting rid of the riff-raff that you
exactly. Yeah.
I love that.
Wonderful. And like I said, I don't want to be Judgy McJudgerson, and just say, oh, well, that's them, because sometimes you kind of have to dig. Like you can actually go into if you find something, you can go in and click on their name. There's a hyperlink and it will tell you like date of birth. And sometimes you can match that up with their application if they put that on there. So you can really hone in and be like, oh yeah, that's that person. Oh yeah, they got a felony. So, hey, thanks for applying, so you can really kind of cut a lot out at that point. Okay. In addition to that, and like I said, I don't know if all states have that, but we do here in Oklahoma and it's amazing. I love it. We also have Facebook. Like, I'm sorry, if I pull you up and you're in the town that we're in and, you're sitting there flipping off the camera, showing boob pictures, like, I can't, So, you can scroll through their feed, and see if they're cussing, expletives left and right. You can tell a lot about a person from their Facebook profile, so you can weed out some more that way, based on the information that you have in front of you. So
we had a gal work for us for about a month, and I really wish I would have done this before I hired her. I would have saved me so much. So yes, this is great. And since then, okay, I'm not going to tell you her name, y'all, but
you did it. So you did it afterwards, and the stuff that you saw horrified you.
And I was like, this explains so much. Yeah. And okay, this is how bad it was and is, you guys. This is probably 6 months ago. I still have her as a friend because the stuff is so horrific that it's like a train wreck. It's like a train wreck. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes the train wrecks are fun to kind of watch a little bit. You're like, ooh, there's some crazy out there. Yeah. And you don't want to hire that crazy. So that's why you need to look at Facebook before you even schedule. We're not even at the interview at this point. Like, we're still weeding out the riff-raff. And then once you get to the interview, like I said, and if you're on the fence of, oh, is this the right person on Facebook or whatever, once they schedule an interview and actually show up, then you'll know, you're like, oh yeah, that's that crazy person. So, we'll just cut the interview questions short. We normally got 30 questions. We're gonna ask you about 10, we'll be done, not waste my time, so this is all just before you even schedule an interview. Okay. So, so if you get applicants in that, didn't do the 2 assessments or didn't do a phone call or whatever, let's be real. Times of COVID right now, we are all desperate, right? So normally I would just be like, well, they didn't follow the rules on the job ad, they're out. But now I'm like, I kind of need people, so I will send them a follow-up email and say, hey, I have a template in Indeed saying, hey, I noticed you didn't fill out your assessments. I'm sure it was just an oversight, but that is part of the requirements for applying for this job. Do you mind going on and filling out these quick 2 assessments, really quick? And if they do, great. I'll consider them and I'll put them back in the process. If they don't, then they're back out. So.
And then how many people do you think you get doing that, Amy? A decent enough number?
Yeah, for sure. And sometimes they might answer one and not the other. I think the other one we chose was reliability. Obviously that's important. And cleaning. I mean, you can choose tons of assessments, but the cleaner, fit, and reliability are the two that we have decided.
Okay.
Because we want somebody to show up every work, and we want somebody that's a good cleaner. So, and you know, I mean, it's not the gospel, you know, but it does help when you're trying to weed out the riff-raff, right?
Yeah.
So if they didn't do them all, then we ask them to do that. And then, so even after all that, we're still not to the interview. We are going to send them another list of questions saying, hey, before we schedule an interview, we have a few more questions we need to ask just to make sure that we're on the same page of what this job's about. So we'll go over kind of the salary, you know, requirement, or kind of not requirement, but the salary that we offer, you know, bonuses, all this kind of stuff. You know, do you have a car to get to and from work? We have company cars, but you know, can you get to work every day, and can you get to work all the time? What hours are you available? You know, sometimes we get some people in school and they want part-time, which we're fine with, but we can't do like part-time, like, you know, 8 to 12 or 1 to 5. Like we have to have them a full day, because they could be on the north side of town, you know, and if they had to get off at 1 o'clock, the crew would have to drive them back. And I mean, that just doesn't work for us. So we are really clear that we need you. If you are part-time, that's cool, but we need you 2 to 3 days a week, a full day. We can't do a half day. So we kind of flesh that out in those questions as well. And then we ask them, you know, when can you start? You know, and one thing that I have done over the years, again, to weed out people, is that if I know they currently have a job and they've mentioned that they're currently working, and I say when you can start and they say tomorrow, sorry, you need to have the respect for your employer to give a 2 weeks notice, just like I would expect you for me. So that really just puts a bad taste in my mouth. And I'm like, you know, really? Are you sure you can start tomorrow? Because you're just leaving them people high and dry. And that's what you would do to me if I hired you. So that always kind of gets me. And I'm like, you know, sorry, you know, we found a more qualified applicant. Have a nice day. You know, so there we weed out some more people if they kind of do that trick. So, yeah. Okay, so that gets us to an interview. So if they've passed all of that and they've done a good job, they've done all the tests, they did the call, they're qualified, no felonies, none of that, we do a Zoom interview. And we've been doing those since March, and it's like changed my life. Like, I love it. It kind of see, because, you know, we use technology, you know, we have iPads, we do all that kind of stuff. So it's cool to kind of see them being able to figure out, if they've never done Zoom before, you know, oh, can you log into Zoom? And I've only had one lady, and she was a little older lady, which was fine, that couldn't figure it out. So we just hopped on a phone call, you know, no big deal. But we're just trying to reduce the foot traffic, obviously, in the office. And so we don't have people in anymore. We just do the Zoom call. So we do that. And so here's where I'm going to read my favorite questions that you said. We have 30 questions that we ask them.
Oh, wow. Okay, wait, hold on. 30 questions. Everybody?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. How long does it take?
Usually about 30 minutes, depending on.
So, like, if you start, I mean, I guess you've done enough vetting to this point to know that they're a legitimate candidate.
Right.
So you go through all 30 questions. I mean, I've done interviews before where I might have a list of questions, but after getting the answer to the first two, it's like, well, there's no really
right. But if you weeded out the riff-raff to this point, you can really now hone in on the true, like, let's get down and dirty kind of questions, you know.
Yeah.
So one of my favorites is, and I probably got this from Mel's book. I want to make sure.
I'm sorry, Liz. What?
So, I just have to say, Amy, is it bad that at this point in time, I would probably just hire all those people?
I know. Okay. Well, then that's a point I'm going to make. We have another thing that we do, because I tell everybody, I like everybody. I would hire everybody. So
I know you do.
I have another step in the process I'm going to talk about after the interview that we do to weed out even more, because, like, I'm telling you, I like everybody. And I'm like, you know, I'm with you, girl. We're sisters. I know.
Okay.
So I have, and like I said, I want to give Mel credit, because I'm sure it's his, is who is the most frustrating person that you know, and what about them is frustrating? Yeah. Because if you get somebody go, oh, well, yeah, you know, and they just have this like immediate, just like anger, you know, you're like, ooh, they're triggered, you know? So that one, you know, you can kind of get some, you know, a rise out of somebody if they're easily angered. So typically we don't, you know, and I'll tell you right now, the top 2 answers are mom and husband. So just so you know.
Yeah.
Which makes them normal, right?
What's that?
Which makes them normal.
Yes, absolutely. I'm right there with you. I know my mom isn't watching, but I love you dearly, Mom, but you would be my answer. So I'm just saying.
We get the kid one too a lot. We get that where they're kids. Like my teen daughter. Like,
oh yes.
That's fun. Got you.
Yes, absolutely. I like this one a lot. Is tell me about your very first job and how old were you?
I love that one.
That can tell you if they're kind of a workhorse, you know, or if they just didn't if they started a little later, you know, like I've had people, I was 13 mowing my dad's, you know, my grandpa's lawn, or, you know, washing cars, or, you know, paper boy or whatever, you know. So
yeah,
I like to kind of hear that just to kind of get some insight into kind of their work ethics and stuff.
Are you finding nowadays, Amy, with the younger group of people that are coming in, that they have started work later?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too.
Yeah. Usually it's right out of high school, like 18, you know.
Yeah, and they haven't really done anything before that. It was like,
no.
Well, I played a lot of video games. But...
exactly. And a lot of people here in Oklahoma we have this local company called Brahms. Tons of people start at Brahms and Sonic.
Brahms? What is Brahms?
Food.
Oh, is it food?
Yeah, fast food. Brahms is an ice cream shop. So if anybody here knows about Brahms ice cream, my dad moved to North Carolina years ago, and he still every time he comes, and he like literally eats Brahms every day and has ice cream every day. Like it's
really that sounds good to me.
It is good.
Yeah.
We've been known to drive a long ways looking for ice cream.
Oh, really?
I will.
Okay.
Tom once drove me around in circles for, how long did you drive me around in circles, Tom? Hour and a half?
I think that's probably conservative, but
I'm trying not to exaggerate.
Was driving, but she didn't know where she was going.
Okay, you know why? Because Tom had the GPS on his what kind of dumb phone? Oh yeah, iPhone.
Oh,
that took us to every wrong place every time.
So, you remember the cartoon The Flintstones when they were running and the background just kept repeating. We're kind of like, hey, we've been by this 3 times already.
Nice.
Groundhog Day. Just keep doing the same thing over.
It was bad, but no, I would he would trick me because I'd be like, no, it was on the other side. You just brought me from a different direction. That's all you did. What are you doing, Tom?
So did you get ice cream after all that?
We did. It was Derek. It was Derek's fault. He was the one that told us we had to get. It was Grader's ice cream. It was going to be the best ice cream on the planet.
Was it?
Actually, there was a gas station next to the hotel we were staying at that had frozen yogurt. Grader's is good. Don't get me wrong; it's a Cincinnati thing.
Right.
The frozen yogurt next to the gas station was pretty good.
It was. I think I had $15 worth of frozen yogurt every day we were there.
Nice. Well, if you can't go to Oklahoma, I'll take you to Brahms. Okay.
All right. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So enough of our side chatter. Sorry, y'all. I know you really want to weed out the riff-raff, and we're like wasting their time.
It's ice cream. I mean, who doesn't like ice cream, right?
Thank you.
My favorite saying I have on my desk at work from Dolly Parton was like, it has a picture of Dolly Parton. I doubt if that's her quote, but it said, "I'm not ice cream. I can't make everybody happy." I'm like, I love that.
Oh, that's actually pretty good. That's pretty good.
I mean, you can substitute it with whatever food is your favorite, but
garlic bread. I'm not garlic bread.
You're not garlic bread. You can't make everybody happy, Liz. Right?
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty good. Although I do love me some ice cream. Yeah.
Ooh, for sure. Okay, I've got 3 more questions here that I like. Tell me what you wish you would have done differently in any of your last positions. I've had people say, well, I was late a lot,
Oh,
like, really? Okay. Well, that doesn't fly because we don't want you to be late here, So, sometimes they'll say, I wish I would have stepped up more or something like that, which, that's great. That's an honest answer, So I really like that question as well, because you can kind of glean out some things that they may have had some regrets about, or things that if they came to our company, they might do better or differently. So.
Yeah.
Should have been stealing money out of the cash register.
Right.
Or
I'd be like, click, this interview's over. Have a nice
smoking,
day.
smoking pot
Amy,
during
they wish
break.
they didn't do that. So, like in the future, they're not going to steal anymore. Isn't
Right.
that
They're
yeah.
a changed person. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. I get it. Good question.
Right. When I speak to your previous manager, what would he or she tell me about your work? I like that one.
Yeah. I have heard that one before. What kind of answers do you get on that?
That they're dedicated, they work hard, they, step up to the plate, take on extra tasks. Usually it's kind of the people that really do go above and beyond will give you above and beyond answers on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
And then actually, I think that was all I'm sorry. I thought I had this 5 total. So yeah. So those are my 5 favorites.
Yeah.
Those are my 5.
All right. But you asked 30.
I do. Yeah.
I mean, so 30 is really a lot.
Yeah. We've got, some of them are just, like, are you afraid of heights? Some of them are just like, are you comfortable around all types of pets? Are you allergic to any pet? That kind of stuff. So there are some that are just kind of not thought provoking, just kind of informational, but you want to know that. I mean, if somebody has a deadly allergy to cats, you probably don't want them working for you,
So that's what I was wondering. Are all the questions kind of equally weighted, or some of them like, well, you're disqualified because
it's kind of just, they're not equally weighted. No, I'm sorry. And I can follow up with this afterwards. But obviously, the thought-provoking questions and how they answered are scored a lot higher than just, are you afraid of heights?
Right. Okay.
So, but I mean, like I said, as I explained, all to the point that they get to the interview, like we've weeded out a bunch of stuff already. So we're really, most of the time, hopefully dealing with somebody that really is going to be a good candidate, unless they just blow a question, which, we have had those before, but they have to really say some bad stuff or some unfavorable stuff for them to not pass that interview. But we still have more. There's not just the interview.
Right. Yeah, you had said that. Okay, wait, we have Linda on here. She wants to know, Amy, can you share your list of 30 questions?
Yeah, sure.
Right. Send it over to Tom, and he'll
put it right here, obviously. But yeah, no problem.
We'll put it on our resource page where it can be a download.
Yeah.
Cool. Sounds good. It's not pretty or anything. It's just in a Word document, but yeah.
Or if you want to,
you
can put it on your website and send us the link, and you can get a little SEO stuff out of it.
Look at you thinking there, Tom.
Well, that's not my idea. That's great.
We're not going to say where he heard it, right?
Greg Shepard is an occasional guest. He always makes sure he has a download.
Yes.
He sends us the link to his website to download it.
Oh, is that? I think I met him in Dallas. Greg in Dallas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dallas Maids. He's got another company called Emily's Maids, and if you Google, I digress, but if you Google like house cleaning Dallas, both of those companies rank on the first page in a city as big as Dallas. It's impressive.
You go, Greg.
I mean, really, you think about that. That is so hard to get on the first page when you're in a big city like that. Exactly. But he does things like he sends links to us, and then,
look at that, smart. Yeah. He had a daycare, I think, in his office too. Was that the guy, Greg? I'm pretty sure I went and visited. He was going to he was putting a daycare. Okay, I don't know. I get confused on some of my friends, but if that was him, I mean,
he could have, and he may have done it and not do it now. Right. A lot of that things like that.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so after we do the interview, we decide if we want to proceed anymore. So if we kind of see, that we think that they're not really going to be a good fit, we tell them we'll call you back on this date, or we'll send you an email letting you know the, ultimate result. And so if we feel like they're not a good fit, we'll call them and be like, thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it, but we chose another candidate, I mean, that's technically a little white lie, but they don't have to know. I don't like to be mean, I don't like to say, I didn't think you'd be a good fit, so I'm like, we just went with another candidate, which we are going to be. So it's not really like
we haven't found it. We haven't found that person yet, but we're
right. We just leave that part out.
We are going with another candidate.
There you go.
Right.
See?
Yeah.
There you go. That little word. Yeah.
totally honest. And
yeah. I just got to let them down. Like I said, I like everybody, so I don't ever want to tell somebody no, or like, I don't
well, you never know when you're going to run into these people again. You just never know.
Absolutely. So the next step is that if we like this person, we think they're going to be a good fit, we have them go on a working interview. You guys have probably heard about these before, but basically I sign the checks. I'll work with this person. I'll see them here and there, but I don't work hand in hand with them every day. So I want my employees to come back and tell me, yeah, I want to work with this person, or no, I don't. So that's kind of like the last screening process. So we tell the person, we have a little paper that we give out, and Linda, I can upload this as well. But we have a working interview paper that we give to them. Now we email it and it tells them everything they need to do. Make sure if you have long hair to wear it up, because you don't want it in your face all day. We'll give you a company t-shirt to wear the day of. Make sure you wear pants and rubber-soled shoes. Make sure you wear your mask. We will give you gloves. We tell them all of this stuff up front, and we tell them when and where to be there. So we say, come to the office at 8:00 on Wednesday, and we are going to have you go out with the girls. And what we tell them is that, if you
say girls, you do not say girls. You say chicks.
Sorry. Go out with the team. Sorry.
I can't believe you don't say chicks.
Yeah, we do say chicks a lot, but yeah.
I'm like, what? It even struck me as bad, you saying girls. I'm like, I know she says chicks.
I know. Sorry. I do say, I'm just really nervous right now. My face is all, I'm hot and like being put on spot. So yes, chicks. Thank you.
I have to say chicks.
Yeah.
You always say chicks. I mean, I feel like you're the most consistent person with your lexicon that it really struck me as just like, what? I never heard Amy say girls before. She always said.
And we do have chick list and chick mobiles.
So you have to apologize. Yes. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Sorry. So they show up, and we assign them to a team, and we tell them, hey, if you have cleaning experience previously, great, no problem. But we're not expecting you to be rock star on this working interview. What we're looking for is, are you a good fit for us? And do you think we're a good fit for you? Because the last thing I would want to do is hire this person, get them trained, and then they're like, oh my God, I hate this job. So they can especially people that come from like a sit down environment that's never done like physical labor. And I tell them it's a workout. You're going to sweat in the summertime. You're going to get hot. You're going to get stinky. Like it's a physical job. So, I want to make sure that they know that ahead of time. Most of them are cool with it. Some of them aren't. So we have had people in the past that come back from their working interview and they're like, you know what? This just really wasn't for me. And I'm like, okay, I still love you, but yay that we figured this out before we hire you on and go through training, and all this stuff. So we've had a few people over the years that just didn't think it was for them. Great. That's why we do this. We do, and we do pay them minimum wage for the full day. So they are paid for the working interview. Usually it averages about $50, $60.
It's a 1 day working interview?
1 day working interview. Yeah. And, for the cost of $50 to $60 for an interview versus not doing that and hiring somebody, the cost is going to be a lot more for training and all that kind of stuff. So, so basically, if they go out with the girls for the day, the girls come back, chicks come back, and they do have an evaluation.
I just have to say, I love that you're apologizing to me.
Wait, well, if I can take a detour just for a minute, this is Amy's website. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop her link in our chat. And if you look, everything on it is chicks. It's chick certificates.
Yeah.
Chick careers.
Yeah.
Chickadoodles.
How cute is that?
Yeah.
So it is. It's all about the chicks.
It is. We are chickies.
It is. I know. I totally cut you off now.
Yeah, you'll never remember what you were going to say, but that's okay because nobody will know the difference.
It's all good.
1 day working interview.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a job, and you said that if I just say, well, I can start tomorrow, you're not going to hire me. So I've got a job. I need to give a 2 weeks notice. That's a good answer. Yeah. So I give my 2 weeks notice before I do my working interview.
Sometimes I've had a lot of people that they may not be full-time. I mean, if they're a full-time 40-hour-a-week job and they want to try out and then want to work for us, sure, I'll let them schedule it 2 weeks out. That's fine. If I feel like all of the qualifying questions fit, I feel like they're a good candidate, they would be worth the wait. Sure, I'll wait for 2 weeks. That's not a problem.
Have you ever heard anybody say that, well, gee, I had a job that I liked and I quit and gave 2 weeks notice and now I'm here and this job sucks? I mean, has that ever happened?
No, because the working interview is kind of their opportunity to see if it sucks or not. You know?
Yeah, but if they find that out during the working interview, now they're unemployed, right?
Well, if they really want to make it work, they can. I know some people that have scheduled a day off to come to our working interview.
Right.
You know, so if they want it bad enough, and if usually
take a vacation day and come do a working interview.
Exactly.
Then give your 2 weeks notice.
Exactly. You know, I'm not telling them to do that, but if they want the job bad enough, they will make arrangements to make that happen. Now, I hope they don't call in, but that's none of my business, you know.
I'm not gonna hire you if you can say you can start tomorrow. But if you call in sick tomorrow, coming for a working interview, then maybe
it's just semantics, Tom. Just semantics.
All good.
Right. So they go out with the day, and you would be surprised. Like I said, my girls come back. Sometimes they'll text me in the middle of the day and be like, oh my God, are you serious? Like, this person literally was just sitting on the couch talking on their phone, you know, like, I'm like, oh my God. We have on a working interview before, it's been so bad, I made the girls just drop them off. Cause I'm like, I'm not going to waste any more money, you know, if this person just is obviously not a good fit, you know? So I've had them drop them off before and we're like, okay, you know, well, it's been real. Here's your check, you know, have a nice day. So didn't work.
I wish I could say I had never done that, but it happens more than I would like. But I've also had this happen where in the middle of the day they're working and they say, is it okay if I go out and take a break? And then when, like 10 minutes later, when they don't come back, it's like, where did they go?
I've heard of that too happening. That's never happened to us, but
it has to us. Yeah, it's kind of the whole point of not hiring them. Well, find out.
Pretty much. So the girls will work with them throughout the day, throughout the day. And when they get back at the end of the day, we will pull the applicant aside and say, okay, you know, what were your thoughts? You know, did you have any things that you didn't like? Did you have things that you liked? You know, would you like to work here? You know, and typically they're going to say, yeah, you know, I thought it was great, you know, or whatever. And so we're like, great, you know, go change your shirt. We'll write you the check and then we'll give you a call tomorrow. And so depending how many people we have kind of in the pipeline, do we have guy chicks? Yes, we have had dudes before, for sure. We don't call them chicks just out of respect for, you know.
You call them roosters? I mean, what?
No, dudes, you know, it's all good. But yeah, we've had guys before. We sure have. Absolutely. So then we'll call them back. And then if everything is good, everybody's happy, we start their training. We start them through our training program. And then if they don't make it, then we don't. But the chicks will fill out the evaluation sheet when they get back. They'll score them based on, you know, how did they act with customers? You know, we do rate their cleaning skills, but we know that we train on that. So that's not what we're really looking for is attitude, personality, you know, any red flags in that area. Because you can train on skill, but you can't train on, you know, being rude or, you know, stuff like that. So, so we let the girls tell us, you know, hey, do you want to hire this person or not? And if they say yes, then we do. And if they don't, we don't.
Well, you know what Linda's going to want to know. She's going to want to know if you can share that little evaluation, right?
Absolutely.
A cockerel, a young rooster under 1 year. So she's not hiring cocks, Tom. I'm sorry. Only chicks.
I just figured there had to be like an analogy for a chick, but okay. Oh, never mind. Forgive me.
Yeah, cockerel. I like that. That's funny.
I do not want you to go there. I do not.
You'll have to change your website.
No.
Chicks and cocks? Oh, no.
I obviously was not going to go there, but me and my best friend have had some conversations and we went there before. So we're public right now, so we're not going to go down that road.
I vote no.
Yeah.
It's just us. Nobody's listening. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're the only ones on here. It's all good.
Oh, you know what? I mean, getting serious again here, you guys. Pam has I love her point. Stamina. Stamina.
We have had, I mean, I'll admit I'm a fluffy girl, but I can get out there and I can get it, I'll sweat, I'll bend, I'll stretch or whatever. But you do have some people that just, I've had people come back and say, she was really good, but, I worried about, she complained about her knees hurting, or her back, and she couldn't really bend and stretch a whole lot, or whatever. So, yeah, we've had that before as well.
She was talking about that workers' comp injury she had at her last job.
Oh, right, exactly. You're like,
yeah, no. Which you kind of really like when they talk about it, though, right?
Mm-hmm, exactly. Do we withhold taxes from their working interview check? No. We actually, it's just our minimum wage here is $7.25 an hour. So we just pay them from the time they clock or the time they get there till the time they leave, just straight minimum wage. And then because we can pay in the state of Oklahoma anybody up to $600 a year without having to take taxes out. So what we even do that once we hire them on and they go through our training, they still get a handwritten check for their training, just because we don't want to, and this is another thing, this is actually going into once we get into training, but we changed this years ago because we're not doing orientation until after they make it through training. I was spinning my wheels doing orientation before they started, getting them accustomed to the thing, and then like day 3, they fizzle out. And they had our scrubs and they had, I'm like, So we have changed that whole process, to where they come in every day. We check out their binder. We check out it's really cute. It's called Super Chick, and it's got a little cape on it, and it's got like a little like Superman badge, and it'll say Super Chicken Training. So they have their T-shirts, but we assign it out the day of. We get it back when they come back, and that way we're not, out our uniforms. So then after the, training that we do, we'll get that back every day, and then at the end we write them a handwritten check, and then we give their scrubs on their orientation if they make it through training. So some of them haven't made it through training, some of them don't show up on the 3rd or 4th day, which has happened as well. So,
and just a reminder for everybody that's going to be watching this afterwards also, that Amy is not an attorney. She's not telling you what you should do in your state. Right. And either am I, either is Tom. We don't know. So make sure that you do things according to what's legal in your state.
Right. And Marla, I mean, as far as the, if they're injured on the job, we do have coverage on our workers' compensation it's considered contract labor for that, time during their training. So it is covered in our state. So.
Awesome. And again, find out what's covered in your state.
That's a grown-up question, Marlo. Wow.
That is good.
I think I might have a clue where she got that idea from.
Do you?
I have an idea. I might. All right. What else? What else do we need to know, Amy? I'm loving all this stuff. I think this is really helpful.
This is really good.
Well, thank you. Like I said, I wish I could see Mel again. Like I said, it kind of stemmed years ago because I was just doing what I had been doing, asking regular questions, Like I said, doing orientation before training, people would not bring my scrubs back. And, I was just, it cost me a lot of money. So I feel like by weeding out the riff-raff that, I'm not wasting my time. I'm not wasting my staff's time. I'm not wasting money. And it's not a foolproof system. This is just what we've developed over the years that we feel like works for us. And, like you said, every state's different. I hope you can use some of it. That OSCN.net is wonderful. And by the way, when they do get hired, we do the, what's the test? Not the Orion, but the BASCI, the background check thing. We do that after they're hired. Yeah. So I don't want to do that beforehand. It's expensive.
So, and I really like what you say too, Amy, that it's not foolproof, y'all. I have not ever heard of a system that's foolproof in any company. And another thing, when things change, when the environment, when the landscape changes, you have to change. You have to be able to flex your system and be able to modify what you do. Right. If the labor pool is really tight, then it doesn't make sense to put as many obstacles in the path of your applicants. But
Right.
if applicants are raining down, oh yes, then absolutely, you know, you can have more in the way of those obstacles. So, I love that you are pointing out to everybody too, Amy, that it's not foolproof. You still have to put your own twist and spin on things.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm also thinking, you know what, Tom, we need to get Mel on here too.
I know.
I have a note.
You do? Okay, so do I. Mel Kleinman, hire Jeff. Me too.
I'm telling you, I should frame it. I got his signature right here. Look at that.
Oh, so awesome.
I know.
Yeah. He's such a great guy. I've seen him speak a few times.
There it is.
I'm glad you're pulling up his book.
Super. That is $9.11 worth of awesomeness right there. Like,
yeah.
Since we're on Mel, we'll give you another nugget too. This is his website.
Aww.
He's got a newsletter that, you know, next to the Cleaning Business Today newsletter, this is like probably the best newsletter out there. You're gonna want to go to his website. I dropped the link to that too, and he's got all kinds of resources here that are useful. Mel's a pretty cool guy. I mean, you know, there was a time that he would take phone calls. I mean, he charges for consulting, but he'll help you out, you know, just to help you out. I mean, he's a very approachable
He is.
person.
I think at the conference, like I said, I don't remember which one it was. I've been to a million of them, but he even had us drop our business cards and sent us like an email. Of course, I signed up for everything, you know. But he was just super personable and just really knew his stuff. Yeah. I actually have 2 more books here I got. So I got this one. I showed you that one. The question.
It looks like Pam already bought that one. She just went and bought both of them.
Go Pam.
Yeah. Oh, Pam.
And then I had this one, which is actually really good. 100+1 top tips, tools, and techniques. That's also a mail.
Nice.
And then once they get hired, I got the 5 firsts. Once you get them on, it's just talking about engaging them, retaining them, you know, treating them really well during training, because you don't want to lose them because you've spent so much time trying to get them in the door. So
yeah, especially if you're going through this whole process, the last thing you want to do is, okay, you get them in, you finally found the great employee, and then they're like, yeah, I hate you.
Right. I know, right? Nobody wants that.
Yeah, nope. I know.
Not happening.
Yeah. Marlo's loving Mel too. I think everybody loves him. He's just such high energy and so willing to be helpful, and awesome guy.
Yeah. I think he would use finger guns. I think he would be a kind of guy, you know.
I do think he's a finger gun kind of a guy too. Tom Stewart is not. Did you see those?
I did. I liked it though.
Finger guns?
Tom's gonna be. You got to do the little wink and the.
Not good finger guns. There you go. A little bit better, Tom.
I'll work on that.
Okay.
Yeah, practice.
Awesome.
All right. Well, do you have any last tips for us, Amy? Anything that we really should be knowing for leaving out the?
No, like I said, I'm not an expert. I mean, if I could crack the service industry hiring process and not have the revolving door of applicants, I would be a millionaire. But, you know, like you said, I mean, it's just kind of, you know, you take your chances, you do your best to weed out the riff-raff, you know, to save your time and money. And, you know, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, we're on the struggle bus right now. I mean, nobody expected COVID. Nobody expected it to happen, you know, unemployment at $600 a week. Who the heck thought that would happen? Like, you know, and nobody wants to work right now. So it's like, okay, well, what do we do? So, you know, to piggyback on that, because we're kind of getting down to where we're not getting as many applicants. So I'm actually working with my coach, and I use Renee O'Brien, and we're going to, you know, do the wage ladder and, you know, restructure things to where we can actually, you know, probably get some more people in the door. I don't know. We'll see how it works. But if it's broke, you got to try to fix it. So
that's right. You gotta. I mean,
it's not broke. My process, I don't think is broke. It's just COVID. COVID
is just throwing a wrench in everybody's systems and processes.
Absolutely.
So we're all having to modify based on, you know, what is working, what isn't working, and what else can we do right now. Exactly. I know a lot of us are really trying to figure out other things to make ourselves look attractive. You know, because what looks attractive now is much different than what was looking attractive.
Well, we were talking about makeup before we went on. Is that what you're?
Wrong kind of makeup, Tom.
You forgot your lipstick.
Oh, no, right. Okay. Don't have any makeup on.
Really, we do need to talk about your choice of lip shade there, Tom.
Yeah.
Because it just looks very flesh color.
I could use some coaching on that for sure.
Yeah.
And Liz, I love your eyelashes.
Oh, well, you know what? $20 a week, you too can have these. Yeah. Or
$20 a week? Mine are like, I do every 3 weeks, and mine are like 75.
I use $20 every 2 weeks.
Okay, that'd be about right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about right. See? Oh, yeah, yours look good too.
Changed
Hey,
my
when
life.
you're wearing a mask.
No more mascaras. Yeah, I know, right? At least the eyes look good. When we got our
Yeah, you got to
well,
do something.
sorry, above the nose. Yeah.
I think Tom has his eyebrows done. No, check them babies out.
Yes.
Well, I am like going into the salon tomorrow, so I'll be looking a little sharper tomorrow.
Trim for your
Looking
cake.
fancy.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate your coming on today, Amy, and talking to us about your chicks. Yeah. And telling us how to get through some of the riff-raff. So, you know, I wanted to point out one more thing. I really like to have a good system too, because a lot of times if you don't have a really good system, you make decisions that are not really the smartest decisions. You'll make them based on things that you see that you are just like your gut instinct, and not to say anything bad about gut instinct. I mean, I'm really a big believer in gut instinct, but you don't want to have the bulk of your decisions based on your flinch, right? Your gut attitude, because a lot of times people don't interview well, maybe. You know, there are a lot of different things that play into it. So
like I said, I like everybody and I would hire everybody, but you know, those people that go on working interviews that sit on couches, like I would have hired them if I hadn't had them go out with the girls, you know? So, you know, you learn as you go.
Oh yeah. Chicks, Amy.
Sorry.
I
I
think you only call them girls when you're talking about them in a group and going out in the field. I've never heard you say girls before.
I know.
Ever.
I'm nervous. I got my heater on over here because I'm freezing, because our dining room has all these windows and I'm always cold, but now I'm like, oh, I got too hot. I'm going to reach over and turn it off, but then I didn't want to go off.
All this pressure.
Like, oh, I know.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed today. We're going to have Tom in here tomorrow. He's going to have a more serious topic. Yes. Oh, Amy, you are one smart chick.
I don't know about that.
Yes.
Who say that? Marlo, who paid you to say that?
I'll please. Yeah.
Oh.
All right, Tom, give us our wrap up.
Yeah, we're at the top of the hour here. Sorry. It's funny how an hour can go by so fast. This was really awesome, Amy. Thank you. This was fun, and it was good info.
Well, good. Thank you.
Okay. I've got a page of notes. And
really?
More fun.
I think that's not even possible.
He is an awesome talent. We need to reach out to him. If you haven't subscribed to Cleaning Business Today, it's really easy. Go to cleaningbusinesstoday.com. First name, last name, email address, bang, you'll get our newsletter, and you'll be in the loop. And I'll take the link to our resource page and I'll drop it here in chat. And
so this is where you're
in a couple of days, we'll have Amy's 30 questions list ready here for download.
And then I think Pam had asked for the evaluation.
Any other matters of business we want to tend to?
I feel like Tom can't hear us right now.
Yeah, I don't think he can either. Can you hear me, Tom? Can you hear me?
No, he can't. He keeps talking over us. He doesn't hear us.
Yeah, you know what? I accidentally turned my volume off, and it's like you guys are talking, but you're not saying.
My mouth is moving, but I can't hear anything.
And it's not like Tom to talk over people. It is like me to talk over people, but it is not like him. So I'm like,
I just learned a trick. When I want to say something, I'll just turn my volume off and I'll go for it.
Mute.
There you go, Tom.
Right. I will say, like I said, and this is totally like kind of related, but not just kind of a personal thing. Like I was talking to my friend the other day and I was just like, these last few months, I just felt like my motivator's broken, we all deal with stress in different, ways and stuff like that. And I just kind of this summer checked out. Like I went camping with my kid and my husband, and I didn't really focus on my business and stuff. But I will say that I'm so looking forward to. I'm going to give you a shameless plug here. I got the Black Friday special on the MMA because I've been toying it around for months. And I thought, you know what? I'm doing it. They got a special. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wait till, January, but we're going to do it. And like, my motivator needs to be motivated again. And so I'm excited to start working with you guys again. Because like I said, this year was rough. It just was rough. So if anybody on the call wants to join me in the success group, let's do it.
Well, we have a couple people in here that are on here that are in the group. So
Well, hi.
And you just demonstrated in a very obvious way why we love working with you for the last hour.
Well, I love you guys.
I really appreciate you coming on and sharing, Amy. Really good stuff.
We'll do this again, not too far down the road, but we are at the top of the hour, so we're going to call it a day. We'll be back here tomorrow, 5 o'clock. We're going to be playing with numbers. Hope you can make it.
Yeah.
Until then, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.